everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Shoe Podcast, the only sneaker podcast where one of the hosts is on vacation. I'm your co-host, Ryan Landry.
I'm your co-host, Tanner Young. How's it feel, Ryan?
I'm having a great time. I'm having a really good time. Yeah.
What was your favorite part?
So
your favorite part?
The first couple of days were good, but it really got better later on, for sure.
Yeah. Well, you're going bottom up, ain't you?
That's the only way to go, as I understand it. Yeah.
Let me tell you what, that's why you're going to want to go.
I've tried to go top down, and that's not it.
Yep. Well, as someone who's gone top down, it starts off really high, but then you kind of finish wanting more. So I like how you're going to, you go bottom up, because you're really going to finish.
That's the only way. That's the only way, too. Yeah. Now, for everyone listening who doesn't know what the hell we're talking about right now, we're recording this episode more than a week in advance, like a week and a half in advance, because by the time it comes out, I've been on vacation for a week. I'm not actually here. Wow. This is all a hologram. You can reach behind the camera if you want, but
simulation.
But we're recording it early for you, for our listeners, our adoring fans, so you don't have to go a week without us here. That being said, as the way irony works, as I understand it, right, is that we're recording this like a week and a half early, so we're not really doing like a newsy topic. We're just kind of doing like a two of us topic. I assume at this point, by the time this episode comes out, nothing exciting has happened in sneakers this week, right? There's probably nothing to talk about. It's probably Friday. Probably Friday. You're looking at this episode and you're like, wow, they're not talking about that thing that happened earlier in the week. We weren't there.
When that person
thing
did
hasn't
that
happened
thing
yet. Yeah. That
in
thing
that place
hasn't happened yet, but that's why we're talking about this instead of that. But better than nothing. Yeah.
You can get with this. You can get with that.
What
a great song to start for this episode.
By the time this episode comes out, how's your week been so far, huh?
Tired.
Yeah.
Tired. Starting school. Hard.
Yeah. Well, no, not last week. How's this week? This week when this episode comes out. Tired.
Still hard.
Still tired. Okay.
Tired.
Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Turns out the hard thing that I started is still hard.
Turns out the kids are still in school. Turns out it's still going on.
Didn't get easier. Just feeling like I'm, instead of falling down, I'm more stumbling forward. So improvements.
Progress is progress. Yeah.
One day at a time.
Shall we jump into it?
Just like the deep end, baby.
Let's go. Actually, first, psych. That's a redirect for you. Thank you, everyone, for checking out another episode of Shoe Podcast. If you're not yet subscribed on YouTube or following us on your favorite podcast platform, the heck are you doing? Go ahead, hit the button. Takes a second of your time. Really helps us out. We'd appreciate it. That being said, with that out of the way, now we can jump into it. The topic that we've got today, are we too old for sneakers? Are we getting up there? Are we over the hill? There's just a lot going on right now that, gosh darn it, we do not understand. We're not on board with here.
Sure don't. My arches tell me I'm too old.
My lack of arches tell me I'm too old.
Hey, get out a free military card, though. So. Okay.
All right.
What they say. Who knows?
Yeah. I'm gonna keep us moving here. No way we're touching that with a 10-foot pole. I came with a couple topics, a couple things that have been on my mind lately about just like, I feel so detached from what's going on right now. And I think you did as well. So just a good old fashioned two dudes talking, old man yelling at clouds episode for you here. Right.
My favorite of episodes.
Yeah. It's really one of those ones where when we sat down and wrote it, we said, this could be 20 minutes or this could be 40 minutes. And as of right now, this very moment in time, listener, you know more about it than we do. You can see at the bottom of the screen, the time. We have no idea. We have no idea how long this is going.
You were referencing that they're time travelers.
They are time travelers to us at this point. Yeah. Is Chapel Roan still popular? I hope so. Thank you for doing it silently so we won't get demonetized. For the listening only audience that just heard you breathing and not seeing it, I'm jealous. I'm jealous because I wish you could just hear it. All right.
Yeah.
Now let's actually jump into it. So are we too old for sneakers? A couple of topics that we got lined up here. First one being crew socks versus ankle socks, right?
It's been a battle.
We're both of the age and of the opinion, perhaps. We grew up where you did not want to, not even ankle socks, no shows, right? You wanted no shows.
100%, yeah.
I don't want to see the socks if I'm wearing shorts with them. If I'm wearing pants, a little more excusable and forgivable, but
Sure.
realistically, no shows were the way. But also goes to show how old we are. This is no longer like a big relevant thing on TikTok. This is probably several months old at this point, but that's how old we are, right? It's just authentic.
It resonates.
It does. So there were actually articles that came out about this, and one of the interesting points that I found, this is a quote that sock brand Hanes confirmed to the Wall Street Journal that sales of socks that rise above the ankle are up 5.9% since 2021. I believe that's as of this year or last. Meanwhile, sales of the brand's low-cut socks are down 3.8%. Now, Tanner, we were talking briefly before this episode. I am still pretty staunchly in camp ankle socks, if not even all the way to no shows. Now, granted, when it's a high top shoe, when it's a Jordan 1, I will deviate and put on a taller sock for that. But you, I think, were saying that you're making the move to crew socks. Walk me through that.
Yeah.
Just in my head when I said, you're making the move to crew socks, walk me through that. I heard myself saying it out loud. I was like, there's no way anyone's listening to this. There's no way anyone whose first episode is like, so you're on crew socks now, huh? Walk me through that.
This very much feels like the episode where people are like, we should start a podcast, and then they do this. And people are like, all right. I don't think you needed a podcast.
Yeah, listen. It's a little fillery. But
slow week. Slow week, all right? Slow week. But you got one.
Yeah,
all right?
you got something.
Like, it's not even like people were asking for it. Just the algorithm really punish you if you don't.
Right. Listeners, for those of you out there wondering what kind of socks we've been wondering, we are finally here to address the controversial topics. We're finally
here to talk about what I'm covering my dogs in. I ended up.
Tell me about it.
Now I still have the no-show or like ankle socks that I end up wearing for work because I can't get past it. But I'll eventually thin my closet out, my sock drawer, to where it's all crew socks, and more crew socks that are like kind of like plain colors. I've got a lot of like dress socks, but it's a little different.
That's not for a sneaker, yeah.
Yeah, I ended up buying some very comfortable ones. My wife kind of started, but the problem also is women's crew socks and men's crew socks drastically different in length.
Walk us through it.
Women's crew socks is like almost like maybe 2 inches above your ankle.
Yeah,
and men's crew socks are like almost getting to my calf.
Yeah, and so I have plenty of socks like that. I think the shorter length is called a quarter cut, if I'm correct here.
Well, talk to Target because they ain't selling them.
They don't got them. I only know this because for the vacation that I'm on right now, I started looking into hiking socks. And not that I need the most intense stuff, but I'm like, just something that's a little bit more comfortable than no-shows. And I was seeing all the different lengths, and I think that length that goes above I think there's like no-show, there's ankle, there's quarter cut, and then there's maybe crew cut, which are like thigh high is what we're calling up here, you know?
Yeah. Now I'm all right with that because I do like the stacked look. So I don't like rip them all the way up. So I do like that I can kind of have them look a little stacked on there.
Yeah.
But yeah, she wore them. I was like, man, that looks pretty cool. And then I put together a little outfit with them and it looked pretty cool.
So you've got that quarter cut that goes above the ankle, or you're doing crew socks scrunched down?
Crew socks scrunched down.
Okay. I've tried it. I feel like
it does feel weird.
Yeah.
It does feel weird. Just because I remember trying to make no-show socks back in the day.
You grab the tall ones, you fold them in over themselves under your heel.
Yeah. So it is because also I remember growing up that wearing high socks was not cool.
No. Yeah.
And now it's like I love the kids today because what wasn't cool when I was a kid and they didn't have any other option but that, which was also a weird thing growing up.
Yeah.
Your socks are high. They don't make shorter socks.
The technology has not been invented yet. Yeah. I mean, I remember when no-shows came out. And
that was crazy.
And that was a movement. That was a wave.
Yeah.
They talk about where you win. I was at the hot top.
I could never figure out how to get the no-shows. I never figured out how to wear them to where they didn't just immediately slip off.
You got to get the right ones.
Never could.
My sock drawer it's all the tall socks, but then all the short ones, the no-shows, All Adidas. Adidas makes some good ones. Yeah.
Shout out to Adidas.
Shout out that's probably the only Adidas footwear I've got in my life right now. Yikes.
But I've always been a fan of like the high tops with shorts.
Yeah.
So I've been experimenting with crew socks.
We can't take ourselves seriously in this episode. Yeah, I've normally never worn high tops. When I say high tops, I really just mean Jordan 1s. With shorts, because I feel like they don't look good unless you're wearing the socks that are taller than them. And to me, the 1 or 2 times I've done it, every time I go out, I'm like, I feel like I'm just trying really hard to look relevant right now. Or just like, I feel like I'm trying to be someone I'm not, you know?
It depends on the outfit. Now, again, I did it with Vans.
Yeah.
So it kind of already, like, that's not a style that you haven't seen before, is like tall socks with Vans.
Yeah.
So it didn't seem super crazy. Now, I do this with like some Dunks. It might feel weird.
Okay.
You know, I'm not sure. So I haven't gotten the courage to fully come out as like a crew sock exclusive. You know, I'm still experimenting.
That's great, man. I'm so happy. Closet and crew sock wearer, but you're gonna get there one day. Yeah. All right.
Yeah. One day. Let me tell you what though. You catch me at the Costco, I'm probably looking fresh.
Kirkland boy.
I think I got some Hanes. No, I think it was Target whenever I picked up Hanes. I did get some Adidas. I think maybe of a quarter crew from the Costco. Very comfortable.
I gotta look into that. You know what my issue is? I think quarter I could get to.
Yeah.
My issue with the taller crew socks is that listener won't know. Viewer, as you might know, the drums back there. Drummer.
There you go.
The one bit of thing that I've got going for me, drummer calves, right? They are just I've got large calves. So anytime I wear the taller socks, they look like they are absolutely just choking the dogs. And I don't know how to get around that. Because every time I put them on and I bunch them down, I'm like, they just look like they are just like stretched to their limits there.
You gotta play with it. You can't just scrunch them. Okay. There's some finesse that you got to do with when you're trying to get like that stacked look.
Yeah.
With the crew socks. And sometimes it's funny because every time I would think of this, it just reminded me of taking it back to the like Nike Elite socks.
Oh,
man. I just remember being like, that was a silly.
And those you wanted all the way up.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You were yanking them bad boys.
Stretched. Absolute tension on those guys. Yeah. All right. But, I don't know if we can say much more about socks. We did probably 10 minutes on socks there. That's pretty good.
Hey, half the episode.
This next one, I've got some stronger feelings on here.
Okay, here we go.
The trend right now of what I'm calling maximalist colorful sneakers. So I'm talking Action Bronson, New Balance Rosewaters. I'm talking J-Tips and Saucony, whatever this latest the list.
Put more than a tip on that.
And Salehi Bembury, New Balance 1906R, Heat Be Hot. Those are just some examples, but just like, man, it feels like lately we've been getting runners with rainbow and just like color smashed on. I don't mean like rainbow. I just mean a lot of color. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like all these colors slammed on them, all these bright colors that normally you would not see together. And like, I'm obviously the black sheep here because like people are loving these. Like people are eating these up. They're going crazy. They're selling out every time. And this is one of those things that I unironically attribute to like, I think I'm just getting older and I just want shoes that I can wear every day that I don't have to think about an outfit for. Like I don't have to really think about what I'm wearing with these, you know?
So it is interesting. Like with this kind of, I think like wave of, like you said, I like how you said like that maximalist, like color palette.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's one of those things where it's like, is this one of those things where it's like, am I too old and I don't understand this new fashion trend? Or is it just straight up, I'm not someone who's very into fashion?
Yeah.
Like, do these colorways go of like, nope, this is just kind of like what that new wave is? Or is this like, hey, if you're really into fashion and you actually like curating pieces in your closet, this is what you're gonna want to really go with it, to where you don't have like a bland footwear.
I'll give it that. You would not have boring footwear.
Yeah. So with these, I don't know which one it's more of. Am I that, I'm yelling at people like, it's not grass, it's my lawn.
Yeah.
Or is it just like, yeah, man, I don't buy, like, I'm not really into, I don't see clothes as like a fashion piece. I just like, I could easily wear this beige t-shirt with these black shorts that I have.
I think that's part of me getting older, is like so much, especially this year with like the footwear that I've bought. It's all pretty safe, pretty boring, just stuff that I'm like, yeah, this would go with almost anything in my closet. It looks like it would be comfortable, which we'll get to that. But I think also part of that is, as sneakerheads, when you build out your collection and you get those wild and crazy one-off pairs that you have, you don't need like 5 of those. Like when you have like, I always go back to like, I have the Atmos Air Max 1, the animal print all over one. If I want to wear like a loud and kind of out there shoe, I'm probably just going to grab that. And even then, that I know I like how to style it with whatever. But some of these, I'm just like, I just would not wear this out, because I'd be thinking maybe it's just me in my head too much of like, I don't know what matches with this other than like, I wore a black shirt and blue jeans, Fair.
Yeah. So that is where these are tough.
Yeah.
Every time I see them, I'm like, I don't know which one this falls in. Do I just not get it?
Yeah.
Because I'm old, or do I just not get it because I'm not into fashion? It could also be both.
They're not mutually exclusive, we're saying here.
Yeah. No, definitely not.
You want to talk to us about what you got here?
Almost like the complete 180 of that's like, of this huge color is very much the like wave, not only of just, I think, like New Balance coming into the forefront, but very like neutral colors in a very, I guess, like you could say, to me, a lot of the dad shoe, this is it.
Yeah.
Again, very visual heavy for all of the listeners, but like when I think of like a dad shoe, I'm not like, this is a lot of what I'm thinking of. I'm thinking of like, I guess, like the suburban dad shoe, which is just a very just brown New Balance, or maybe a beige Asics. And again, it goes back to kind of like what I said with the crew socks, where it's like, what was the unpopular thing growing up is now the popular thing.
But in this case, unlike our first two topics, you're with it?
No.
Ooh, okay, not with it.
I guess maybe because I've got that childhood, not that trauma, because I
wouldn't say preconceived notion, but you've got that history
of like these. I'm like, in my brain immediately sees this, which is a pretty solid colorway, but my brain sees it and goes, "Yo, you can't buy those."
Yeah, you're not going
to be cool.
Maybe this is
no one in 7th grade gym class is going to think this.
If we were playing dodgeball, I would get hit immediately. I would be targeted for these.
Dude, no one's picking you for a Foursquare partner.
Yeah,
nobody.
Man, we tore up Foursquare in in elementary school, junior high.
Dude, you ever did the what was your go-to move? What was your go-to power move?
I don't remember a lot of the one I remember was Cherry Bomb, but Cherry Bomb was like Cherry Bomb was just lame. Like classic. Well, I'm not saying that was mine. Mailman, you would do something like that.
What was Mailman? Was that what was Mailman?
Mailman was like, I thought you could like walk the length of the square and like dribble it like you were like passing out mail, and then you would like chuck it behind you in the corner of the square real quick.
Oh, that's cheating. Like that. That's cheating. Well,
here's the thing. In the summer, when we were outside of school, I think I've told this story before. If not, I think I've told you before. There were a number of years in the summer where instead of going to like Kid Cam or something like that was affiliated with whatever school you were going to or whatever summer camp, my sister and I would go to the YMCA for the summer and go to their summer camp there. And at the Y, that's how you know you're from there, if you call it the Y. At the Y, they had a different set of rules and a different set of moves than everyone at school. So over the summer, you'd go and learn all those moves. Ooh. And then you'd go back to school and pulled them off. And then people would be like, that's not a move. And you'd be like, it is.
Boom.
What an argument, right? What a counter argument. You'd be like, actually it is. And they'd be like,
actually it is.
Yeah.
Oh, dang.
There was one called like Typewriter or something like that. But
that was the one I was.
How did Typewriter go?
I think you would just do it like really, you would like go, like fake that you're going to do a big one, and then you drop it gently, and it just like.
Yeah. If you're still out there, let us know, what's your favorite Foursquare move? Leave a comment down below. Yeah.
What's your favorite typewriter?
Yeah. Yeah, sorry, I want to go back. Cherry Bomb was not my signature move. It was just the first one that I could remember, okay? I don't want to go down on the record.
I don't want to go down.
He threw Cherry Bomb every time. This man was just throwing Cherry Bomb. No, it's just the first one I remembered. Okay, going back to the shoes, maybe this is a sign that I am getting old. I would buy these so quick if they were sitting on a shelf. You know what shoe I've been wanting to go back and pick up now? Because you can get them, the resale's not that bad. The Bodega and New Balance, I think it's a 990 V3 that they did for one of their anniversaries. If you remember, that was in like a lot of those brown shades.
Love a Bodega.
I'm going to pull it up. Hang on. Shout out Bodega. They've done some of the best New Balance collaborations.
Oh, absolutely. It is interesting because it is weird of like the like huge crossover of what I feel like I'm getting too old for sneakers, where I am looking for something that is a little bit more. I mean, yeah, that's these are again. I look at that and I'm like, that looks like something like a dad who's bringing his like 13-year-old to Boy Scouts.
Yeah.
Like he bought that because they're going on a camping trip. And that's what he bought.
I kind of hate the sock liner pop of color. Like part of me wishes it was also neutral and kind of muted, but part of me is like, that's kind of cool that they did that little bit there. Of it. But I think also, hang on, shout out Goat. You're getting some free ad right now.
Oh, here you go.
Brand new pair, $215, technically under retail. Used pair, like $100, $200.
$100?
It's one of those ones, right, where I'm just like, yeah, that's one I could probably see myself picking up soon.
So it is so interesting, the crossover, where I think you have like, it's almost like that like Spider-Man meme over. It's like too old for sneakers, so you're passing up on like Jordans for beige New Balances, but then it's also like fashion forward Gen Z also being like, hold on now, I'm also passing up on the new Jordans for the beige New Balances.
Too old to love what I grew up with. Too old to love what I hated growing up. Kinda.
One of those.
I'm a new man. I'm in my bag now.
So it is interesting because I am gravitating more towards like more very like simple colorways.
Well,
but like I said, there's that part of my brain where it's like, you can't, no, this is something your dad would wear.
Your brain's pushing.
But I'm also just like, but I am.
But I am dad.
But I am dad. So what? It is weird. It's also that prime example of being like, in my head, I'm still like 28.
I was just going to say, I'm, 32 this year. And this is the first year of my 30s that I've started really seeing myself be a lot like, it looks comfortable. Like comfort's getting high up there on that. They talk about when you're in your 30s that like you start prioritizing comfort. The first 2 years, to your point, like still living like 28. Like we're just going to get whatever and rock it. 32 came around for some reason. It was like, I think part of that was getting Vomero 5s and just being like, hang on, why have I not been just getting comfy shoes?
No, the first drop a bag moment I had in my 30s was a way too expensive mattress, but I don't care because let me tell you what, unbelievable.
You spend so much of your life there. You spend chair, you spend so much of your life there. Invest in those things.
Treat yourself.
That's right. But don't treat yourself to Y2K runners with silver metallic panels. That's what we got, everyone. And this one's probably not I'm too old for it. This is just I remember because we were there.
I was there
when the shoes with the silver metallic panels were going to Ross and Marshalls and TJ Maxx, and these were not cool to wear.
Everywhere. They were just everywhere.
Yeah. It's not cool. This is one of those ones where it's like I can't see the comeback that it made. Unlike, crew socks, where I'm like, I get it. And I do like them on other people. It can't be me because of the way I grew up. But
Also,
these, I'm just like, no, like these are still, they just look cheap and they look bad. There's something about them.
There's also like, I'm sitting here like, my childhood can't be your retro party, right? Like,
right. I'm old, but I'm not that old.
I'm like, no, but then I'm like, oh wait, hold on. Growing up and being infatuated with the 80s, I was like, wait, no, no,
it's happening. Yeah.
So it is very interesting because it's like, I do love like the 2K, like the Y2K aesthetic. Like I love all of the like the advertisements from back then and everything. So it's just very interesting that this very like metallic, which I mean does make sense. I mean, it was also very popular in those early 2000s, but I didn't really care for it back then. Like when it came to sneakers,
to me growing up, and seeing it now,
I don't really care for it now.
It hasn't changed. It hasn't changed for me. It's still just not for me.
Yeah.
Kudos to you for getting a fit off with these and you love them. That's great for you.
Yeah. And I'm sure really the biggest thing, I'm just sitting here to be like, no, that can't be true.
It can't be.
This can't be nostalgic, right?
Yeah. You know what I can't wait for? The Y2K trend is right now. Maybe we got like another 5 years? No, probably not even. Maybe like another 3 years. Is scene and emo gonna make a comeback? Are we gonna see
it's
already
making a comeback?
But like, it's not big like this.
No, it's not. Y2K
it's not big like early 2000s is big right now. I want to see
like 2006 to 2000, like
that's 11, what I want to see. Yeah,
like mall
hot
scene.
Hot topic mall scene.
I do. Yeah. What the monster merch, studded belt. God, give me back.
Our friend John, I don't know if you listened to our friends John and Ben have a show called Coffin Cutter, and they were on there a couple of weeks ago, somehow talking about when John and his friend Travis, who you know Travis,
yeah,
bumped into me in the mall, and it was John's first time meeting me, and he said on the show, he's like, the only thing I remember about meeting Ryan in that moment is that he was wearing a white belt with silver bullets on it, and I'm like, yeah, that was Mallcore. I did have that belt. But he's like,
so funny that you were wearing
that. Right, yeah.
Yeah.
But John said, he said on the show, he was like, I don't know if that story is true, or if that's a fever dream that like I just remember as being true. So I had to text him like, I had that belt. 1,000% had that belt. Yeah. No,
you had the scene hair too.
Well, after high school, I had to get there, right? Because in high school,
there you go.
High school we couldn't because of the length. We got there eventually. I didn't have the belt after high school. The belt was in high school. But yeah, I want to see that era. I want to see bright neon. I want to see band merch with monsters like throwing up onto like an umbrella. Like, remember all the Hot Topic that you were like, what is this graphic even? Yeah.
Oh yeah. That was great. And then it was so funny because then that was like whenever you get into, you'd be like, I'm buying this shirt. I don't maybe listen to this band. I'm not a huge fan of this band, but the shirt's cool. And then that's when people people were heated, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Heated.
You better know some songs.
Yeah. That or you just get, you put on your favorite band, Shidos. Just let it go.
I don't like that. Bonus episode?
Boom.
The platform we upload our podcast through has an option where instead of giving it an episode number, you can say like, this is a bonus episode. This is just for fun.
Yeah.
This might fall in that category. Hey, better than nothing. You got 30 minutes of us. Better than nothing. Hopefully enough to hold you over until next week. Leave a comment down below. Let us know, what is your big gripe with sneakers right now, with footwear, that makes you feel like, am I too old? Is it me or is it them? Leave a comment. Let us know. On YouTube, we'll go ahead and respond to them. We'll pin our favorite one. Someone's got to have a good take out there.
I am curious to see what everyone else has, and like maybe even like less of like actual things and more of like the way people post sneakers, the way people talk about sneakers now. Like, is that different? Resell, like we didn't even get into resell. Does resell play a part of how, like, if you're super anti resell, does that give a indication as to your age?
That's probably a good one.
Yeah. So I would be very interested to see what makes everyone feel. And gotta post your birthday. with social.
with social. No, maybe just your age. Maybe just the year you were born. I don't know. Don't get crazy in our comments. I don't want us liable and on the hook for all that.
That's all right. Over I think 2 billion social security numbers were leaked. So
wait till you get the letter from Shoe Podcast that your information was part of a data breach and we have to offer you a 6-month trial of security monitoring. Yeah.
Yeah. Whoops.
Thank you everyone for checking out another, albeit short and mini episode of Shoe Podcast. You can find us online at shoepodcast.com or keep up with us on socials at Shoe Podcast, everywhere except for where we're not. If you made it this far in the episode, thank you so much for listening or watching. If you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button down below. As we said, leave a comment, really helps us. If you're listening on your favorite podcast platform, go ahead, follow the show, leave a little rating or review. We want to read them. Helps us know. Helps us grow. Throwback for y'all. Lastly, if you want to continue the conversation with us and our community, you can do so through our Discord link down in the episode description below.
Boom.
Tanner, what do you want to leave the people with?
Liquidate your assets. It's all going down soon. Just have some fun.
I'm your co-host, Ryan.
Spend that money.
I'm your co-host,
Ryan Young.
Landry.